hope this video finds you well. Wanted to dive into some consumer advice and things people don't know in the automotive industry. CarGurus, AutoTrader, Cars.com all use something basically called a fair market range. Now, AutoTrader coined the term, the actual label FMR, fair market range. But we need to discuss third parties in general. I've got about 6 years of direct experience with the two largest third parties in the country, Cars.com and AutoTrader. And I just wanted to discuss general consumer knowledge that you guys need to know. Now, these third parties are subscription-based services to dealerships. To dealerships to be able to syndicate their inventory. What does that mean? That means a dealership pays a monthly fee to these companies to syndicate their full inventory. Now, CarGurus initially offered their services for free. And that's how they got kind of the initial market share. You could send your entire inventory to them and they would put it up. Now, those listings would be, filtered, or they'd have maybe one or two pictures because you weren't paying for it. And you could pay them more to have full syndication, have multiple pictures, all your information and everything. Now, CarGurus, what they did was brand themselves. They would actually take your dealer branding out of the scenario. So you would have to call them, or you would have to call the dealer to even be able to find out where the car was. AutoTrader did a different approach in the sense that their listings are trying to be as transparent and fully detailed as possible to just bring direct traffic to each person's site as well. Right, or each dealer site, excuse me. So what do we need to talk about from a consumer perspective? Fair market range. Cox Automotive owns Manheim Auctions, a tool called vAuto that has Profit Time, Stockwave, a bunch of different tools inside of it that dealers use as their inventory management system and their syndicators and their photo base. All right. They also own KBB, Dealer.com, and Vin Solutions, a CRM, and then a host of other companies as well. They've done a great job from an acquisitions perspective, really trying to have, a major market share of almost every little tool that each dealership needs in their ecosystem to survive. And they've really done a good job in acquisitions to buy some of the best companies in the entire ecosystem. And I'm sure very soon, and or now, they're probably trying to buy into the AI side, because most of their tools don't necessarily have great AI functions. They're kind of built in the frameworks that they were built in. Now with CarGurus, they're their own entity. They did a great job on Google initially for relevance. They were built directly as a kind of a newer version of AutoTrader that, quote unquote, just did a better job from a digital retailing standpoint for a while. And that was kind of their competitive advantage for a little bit. They were very good at Google. Now, as Google evolved, Google realized that they could have their own kind of listing set up in the Google shopping experience, where they basically have VDP Direct. VDP is a vehicle description page. VDP Direct marketing, to where if you say Google, hey, Ram 1500 for sale, you're going to see pictures of the Ram 1500 at specific dealerships. So Google also offers that to dealerships, but everybody. It's an open form source. If you're paying for Google, they, as a dealership, they will put your vehicles up to wherever your bid lands you. Now, a lot of the third parties are also buying those same pieces in order to get VDPs these days. So that's where it's been very, very interesting to watch dealerships and third parties bid for those. Well, let's be honest. Google owns about 80% of search queries. And or they have, or it's somewhere close to that from a market share perspective. So they've needed the VDP space. Now, Cars.com did a great job with Cars Social, which was a Facebook and social media tool. They were kind of the first to market there to where they would put their vehicle description page on Facebook. You would see kind of a carousel of a bunch of vehicles, and you could kind of slide through them, and that would send you to the dealership's description page or their internal landing page that would keep you on that carousel of their specific vehicles. Now, car buying advice inside these third parties, especially and really and truly, Cars.com and CarGurus are using basically a list price tool to where they do an aggregate for a fair market range or a good deal, bad deal, great deal perspective. And honestly, from a consumer perspective, that is one of the best places to find a good deal these days. Same for AutoTrader. Now, AutoTrader is different because of the large ecosystem that I just told you about. So Manheim, vAuto, KBB, Dealer.com, VIN Solutions, which is their CRM tool that they use internally with the dealerships. They are able to have just a lot of breadth of data. And they've done a great job over the years of pulling that data together to give fair market range or KBB ranges to show the most transparent, probably, data set that you can see as a consumer and easily across their ecosystem to see if the car is a good deal, great deal, whatever. Now you need to understand on AutoTrader what they've done as a dealer-friendly thing. They will not tell you it's a bad deal. As a dealer, if the car is high, you just won't get a deal rating. The car will just be there with the price posted. As the car goes down in the product life cycle of that vehicle, then the price starts getting into the good deal range, great deal range, and they will be labeled. Now, in those tools, you go into your pricing filter. You'll see your pricing filter where you can adjust whatever your budget is. And you can choose if you want to see good deals and great deals only. It's that simple. That way, as a consumer, you can truly see whatever each third party has to offer in your market. Now, understand this. Market share matters. AutoTrader may have this many dealerships as clients in your area. CarGurus may have this many dealerships as clients in your area. When I was working for the different companies, they had about 25% duplication. Now, it's probably very different now. Ebbs and flows based on sales, based on how the dealers feel about the third parties, whatever. So if you're trying to get the most cars for a specific search query that you're putting in, so you may be looking. Let's say you're looking for trucks, you do a Ram 1500, and maybe you're also interested in a Chevy. Or you're interested in a Chevy and a Ford. They have the same transmissions. I might want a 5.3, I might want a 3.5, whatever. Doesn't matter. You can pop your search query in, but just understand you're only going to see the cars that they have the cars from dealers that they have as subscribers. So are you getting a full picture of your market? No. But you're getting their subscriber base, right? So a lot of times you have to look at multiple other options. Now that's where AutoTempest came in. AutoTempest tried to scrub all these sites to offer one place where there are as much market share as it could. But then AutoTrader figured it out, CarGurus started figuring it out, and let's be honest, they either sued or whatever, and they had some of those. You have to basically go to the other sites to even get that market share still too. So just keep in mind, as you're searching, hey, there's options out there for you to search better. And then from an enthusiast perspective, if you're looking for an enthusiast car, it's very interesting these days. eBay Motors, Cars and Bids, MB Market specific, like Mercedes-Benz-Market.com. Check that out. It's just an auction. They only have a few cars at a time, but they're generally going to be enthusiast cars. Just like Cars and Bids, bring a trailer. That's where a lot of the enthusiast cars are. because most dealerships run on a 60-day cycle. They're trying to get rid of as many cars as they can in a 60-day span. So keep these things in mind as you're searching for your next vehicle. Hope this helps.